All right. Good evening, everybody. Still kicking shit. All right, give me just a moment here. Got to go through my usual shameless self-promotion. There we go. All right. All right. Just putting the work out to get a few people in here. It's good to be back. I'll get into a little bit of the whole delay and everything like that. Let me just get this whole thing situated. There we go. Alright. And do my usual shameless self-promotion here. Oh, it's so nice to be back though, I'll tell you what. Oh, let's go ahead and get the machines up and running. Beep. That might be okay. I'll just swap over to the main page and shameless promote myself here. Alright, and that's quite enough of that. Alright. So, let's give a few moments to get some people in here. And I'm gonna gather up things that I'm needing. The one I took off. Let's see. Nope, that's not the one I did. That's That's the one I was working on and got fed up with. Excellent. Very, very good. All right. Get my station relatively situated here. Oh man, it's nice to be back. Where's the rest of my stuff? There we go. All right. It is so good to be back. Oh, just giving a few minutes to get some people in here. All right. Awesome. All right. Beautiful. All right. So, like the title of the live stream says, we are going to be doing a PS5 Southbridge Reball. Man, that's a hell of a tongue twister right there. PS5 Southbridge Reball. And we will... Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Oh, that's nice. And once we get that done, we're going to start taking some RAM off and doing some readings and doing some diagnostics on a PS5 that I am fairly certain has a RAM issue. Fairly certain? So we'll find out. But in the meantime, like I said, we're gonna I always give about 10 minutes when the stream starts to let a few people come in, let the shameless self-promotion take its course, and we will begin from there. It's really nice to be back. I took about 3 weeks off of streaming. Did not intend to take 3 weeks off of streaming. It ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it would. And I'll get into a little bit of that once I'm ready to get going here. Right. However, very excited about new tools. I have PS5 Southbridge Reballing stencil. Very excited about that. I have magnetic BGA reballing station. Very excited about that. I have solder paste. We're going to use solder paste instead of solder balls. There we go, solder paste. It's going to make this reballing thing a whole hell of a lot easier. Yeah, you ain't wrong, Demi. You ain't wrong. Now, it was definitely still working. Just wasn't doing a whole lot of streaming. Wasn't doing any streaming at all. Alright, give it about another 45 seconds or so. Let me grab a beverage while I'm thinking about it. And we'll get right into this. And I'll get into a little bit of the reason for the delay and all of that. Alright, looks like Jesus. There we go. Alright. Beverage acquired. Alright. Alright, let's put the hair up. You know it's serious when the hair goes up. That's when shit's about to get real. Where's my hair tie? Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright, so the machines are all warmed up. And And I got all my tools and such. Alright, so like I mentioned, I did not intend to take 3 weeks off of streaming. I intended to take Christmas off, the week of Christmas. I took a vacation from my normal 9 to 5, and just wanted to take some time to relax for a little bit. You know, I work a standard 9 to 5 job on top of doing all the repairs, and yeah, I've gotten busy with the repair side of things, so it's important for me to remember to take some time for myself and, you know, not overwork myself, spend time with my kids and my lady and all of that. So I only intended to take Christmas off. Unfortunately, me and my family ran into a bit of personal trouble, and my mom ended up passing away right before Christmas, and that it really put a damper on not just Christmas, but yeah, kind of where my outlook was on things, which is, you know, understandable. It's my mom. Yeah, it's, you know, definitely understandable. But I had to take some time for myself to get myself back right emotionally and mentally and things like that. And it was tough. It was hard, but I know that she wouldn't want me sitting around being sad and depressed and all that shit. She wanted me out here doing what I love doing, helping people, fixing machines, you know, and doing all the things that make me happy and help me provide for my family and make sure that my kids don't want for anything. And I know ultimately that's what you would want me to do. So took a little time to get there, but I'm back. Things are moving up, and I am so ready to get this goddamn PS5 fixed. So just a reminder, this PS5 I bought for $100 back. I mean, it had to be before Thanksgiving, and it was I believe it was a 2-second beep on beep off, or it was just no power at all. I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but it was a power issue. So we ended up trying to reflow the Southbridge and ended up screwing up the Southbridge. So we had to reball the Southbridge, and I tried to do it manually on stream and was not the move. Couldn't do it. So instead I waited and got myself the tools that I know would make it a lot easier and stream friendly. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to finish reballing the Southbridge. We're going to put it back on the board, and we're going to then, once the Southbridge is fully installed and we test it and make sure that we have the voltages we're supposed to have, then we're going to start pulling RAM off the board, and I'll show you what I mean as we kind of go along with that. I'll take some measurements and show you guys exactly why I believe it's wrong. So let's go ahead and get down to business. I apologize for the long intro. Let's get back to it. I am so excited. Alright, so right away, bam, Southbridge. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this horrible mess of solder wall that I put on there. It did not go well. As you can see, there's clumps of solder walls all over the place. I got extraordinarily frustrated. It was just a bad time all the way around. So I gave up on it, and I decided to take some time away from it until I got all the tools that were necessary. But I have all the tools that are necessary now. So let's go ahead and get myself set up here. Alright, so first things first, let's move tools that I don't need right now out of the way. Alright, so first things first, we're going to completely clear this chip off. Let me get myself some fresh wick. Alright. Let's bring you guys down here. You're not going to be able to see much in the camera way anyway, but that's fine. I am working on, I have another camera, I just haven't had the time to get it set up, but I am working on getting a camera that will help you guys see a little bit better as to what exactly the hell's going on here. Alright, so let's move this camera slightly. There we go, and let's move it up just a tad. Try and get the whole chip in there as much as possible. Try and get some of that glare out of there. Alright, that's at least a little better. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put some flux on the chip here. And we are going to wick off those socket balls. They're going to start brand new. Actually, I need to be smart about this. There's no way the wick's going to... I can't hold the wick and the chip at the same time. That's not going to work. So, let's put the wick on the chip. And grab the tweezers. There we go. We do it the smart way. Alright. Go. Just wick away that entire mess of solder that we had on there. Right. Take that wick off. I'm going to turn the chip a bit. And we're going to grab a fresh wick. We're going to do it again. Yeah, the repair side of things has been absolutely crazy. I haven't done a whole lot of refurbishing as far as like buying broken consoles like I usually do from eBay and stuff. I haven't done it since the last time I bought consoles, which was this PS5 and the Xbox One X that I still haven't fixed yet. The repair side of things has been blowing up though. I mean, I've been slammed busy. I got, I think, 3 or 4 tips that came with it, but the ones that came with it were not ideal. I ended up going through Amazon, so just to give you an idea. Here, let me back up a second. So, yeah, so these are the ones I got with the iron, and then I think I ordered some from AliExpress as well. I mean, you can see they're pretty small. That's my finger, and the tips are small, so it's great for like smaller solder jobs and things like that. But they're pretty small, and 2 of them have already broken. Like, just won't connect to the iron at all. So I ended up going through Amazon, and I got these beefy bastards, which are much larger, and even the bottoms are significantly larger. And it's got the curved conical tip, the knife tip. Yeah, I still have the square tip from the other one. That one's still working fine, but I'm a lot happier with these than the ones that came with the iron itself. All right. So now that we're back here, let's go ahead and swap back over. Boop. All right. Spread them. Nope. There you go. I'm back. Go. Make sure we get as much solder off of those as we can. And I'll give the chip a quick rinsing before we put it in the new BGA Reball station. be okay. Now there's a little bit extra on the side over here. I just noticed. Yeah, there's a little bit over here, trying to run away from me. Not today, sir. Not today. Alright, there we go. Excellent. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this chip. Alright. Give it a quick spritz. I have to refill my alcohol soon. I'm running low. Bottom's covered in flux. Let's clean up that flux while I'm here. Alright. Alright, so I am going to put just the tiniest bit of flux. Okay. Still need the flux. Just gonna want used burn stuff on there. Alright, and we're gonna spread that all over the chip to help that solder paste really get on there. Alright, so let's raise this up. You're not going to see much for a moment, don't worry. Put it all back into focus. Okay. Alright. Right into the station. Tremendous. Alright, and we're going to set this up in the correct orientation so as not to screw anything up. I'm already going to have to take that out and rearrange it, not a big deal. Just because I don't know if this works all the way around, and I'm not going to take any risks. Release. There we go. Alright, there we go. Okay, and so I'm just going to get that in place, like so. Perfect. Oh, so much easier. So much better. Alright, and then we'll take a bit of our solder paste with this little applicator that they gave me. Alright, I'm going to start up in this corner here. Already tell I'm going to need a far better applicator, but we'll make do with what we have for right now. Alright, so that's actually got solder in all the correct places. I'm just going to need to smooth it out a little bit to make sure they don't bunch up together, but that actually did the job pretty well. I'm just smoothing out the top edge here, making sure that when I go to heat it, they don't bunch up together and bridge and form bubbles and all kinds of other nonsense. But I think that should be okay. Yeah, that manual reball I did for almost 2.5 hours and got about a quarter of the way through before I gave up. This was done in approximately 7 minutes. So, way more efficient and better, assuming it worked properly. Alright, so I'm going to turn my airflow down considerably. Matter of fact, let me turn the temperature down. I'm going to put my temperature down to 425. This is leaded solder paste, so it will go at a lower temperature. And I'm only going to run it at about 50% airflow. Alright. Let's go ahead and let this baby get hot. And I'm actually going to I'm going to drop it a little bit lower. I'm going to drop it to like 35% airflow. Alright, let's see what we can do. There we go. Let's see all those nice pieces turning into solder balls on the chip. Alright. Alright. There we go. Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm sure there's probably going to be some paste under the stencil. I do have solder balls if it continues to be a problem. I have the correct size solder balls. I just might have to go through and manually put them into each individual slot and go through that whole process. Yeah, stencils are going to warp after a period of time. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. Alright. See how hot this thing is. Oh, not hot at all. Tremendous. Alright. Oh, the chip came with it. Alright. I'm not sure how great that is. Alright, and finished product. Looks pretty damn good. And yeah, I don't see much in the way of paste under here. There's flux for sure. That the flux stuck to it, obviously, but I don't see much in the way of paste. So There it is. Let's see if I can focus in a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, there's a little flux on there, but I don't see that any of the actual paste got underneath. So, hey, for the first time, I'll take that as a win. Let's go ahead and spray that down real quick so the flux doesn't stay all nasty and sticky on it. I'm pretty sure I do have a RAM stencil here somewhere. I have a bunch of generic stencils. This one was the only one that I actually bought that had a exact stencil for the PS5 Southbridge. But I have a bunch of generics. Alright, so let's take a look at this and make sure we don't miss any solder balls, nothing joined together, anything like that. Let's move it forward and kind of come in at an angle so the glare is not too bad. Now, that looks freaking wonderful. God, that's so much easier. Like, I respect the people that do it by hand, man. I've watched Phil do it a bunch of times by hand, and yeah, the people who can manually reball chips, more power to you. I will never again manually reball a chip. I will find every excuse to use a stencil and paste. Alright, that looks good. Let's go ahead and move that off to the side for the moment. And let's bring up the board. I'm pretty sure this is the board. Oh, it's missing a Southbridge. EDM0, okay. And let me just take a reading to make sure I'm on the right board. Hang on 1 second. Oh, you know what? I took the Southbridge off of a EDM 010 board, so it should be fine. This should be the right one, but I'm just going to take a reading to be sure. Alright, resistance. Alright, and ground. And here. This is the one. Okay. Awesome. Alright, let's get the Southbridge put back on. Alright, I am going to clean up this area a little bit. It's not too bad looking, but I do want to get it as clean as possible, ready for the Southbridge. I'm going to spray some alcohol down, and grab a Q-tip, just rub up on the area a little bit gently, very gently. These pads are super sensitive. You do not want to come in here with a bunch of abrasive stuff. So just real gently scrub it in this whole area here. Alright, and we'll do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to put just a tiny bit of flux right here. That's probably too much. That's fine. Take some off as we go. Alright, we're going to spread this all over these pads, just like you did when you were doing a reball. Alright, and then we grab our chip. Alright, So I know this is the correct orientation. There's two ways to know that for certain. One way is to double check for me the easiest way is these three areas right here, these little 3 or 4 rows, because that's the only ones that look like that on the chip. So I just match those up. However, you can also do that by there's that little gold arrow right here, and if I want to do this correctly and be a good YouTuber, I would wipe this chip off, and you can see as it dries up here. There's that little circle on the top right, top left here, very, very barely visible, but it's there. So that goes with that gold arrow up there. All right, let's back up a little bit. Alright, so I gotta clean off the back of this chip a little more. It's not letting me get the grip I really need to get on it. Alright, so we're gonna try and just line this up as best we can. And then there we go. So that is in place. I believe we're going to double check around the edges here. It's coming loose. Sorry guys, hold a moment. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this at an angle slightly. Focus in. Alright. So, the way I knew that that was in, at least as much as it's going to be, is I was able to move the chip around until it fell into the grooves where the pads are, and then if I try to push down and shake it back and forth, it won't move. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's when I knew that all the pads were properly lined up on this Southbridge. Right. Alright, so I'm going to turn the heat back up to 480 because now we're on board level. And I'm going to put it at about 60% airflow to actually no, let's do 70. If it starts to move too much, I'll cut it back down. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the softballs. Alright, I'm going to let this get hot a moment. I'm going to put a tiny bit of flux around this because I don't want to knock it loose by accidentally touching the chip, but I do want to have a little bit of flux to know when the chip drops. And plus this will help the solder flow into place properly. Alright, here we go. So that chip ain't going anywhere. I'm going to crank up the heat. The airflow, I mean, not heat. I'm already at 480. And those bubbles are exactly what you want to see. Now, what you should see, once this drops into place properly, is you should see the flux start to, you'll see it kind of drop, and the flux will start to pulse. There we go. Just like that. There's a little bit of pulsing going on. And that, to me, says that this should be in place. I'm going to give it about another 20 seconds. But I'm pretty sure that, you know what? Not even going to give it that much. I don't want to put that much heat on the Southbridge. Alright, we're going to let that cool down for a second. We're going to move that flux, and we're going to give it a few gentle taps. Right. Excuse me. Alright. So should have let the solder solidify at this point. We're going to come in with our tweezers and just give it, ooh, still pretty warm. Just going to try and move it. Right, I'm putting a fair amount of force on there and it ain't going anywhere, which tells me that that is in place correctly. I'm going to, once the board cools down a little bit, I'm going to give it another clean and let it go from there. I'm going to give it another clean. Sorry, I got distracted. ADHD brain. I'm going to give it another clean and tilt the board up and make sure that it doesn't appear like any of the solder balls together or anything like that. And if that works, then we'll put it back in the housing and we'll see if what I think happened last time. I would have to go back and double check. But what I think happened last time was that it was a 2-second beep on, beep off, or it was just beeping, but it wasn't turning on. And then when we reflowed the Southbridge, we just lost the beep completely. I'm almost positive that's what happened last time. So, if we at least get a beep, if nothing else, then we know we're in good shape. How we advise. Alright. Good. Alright. Spray this area down. Where's my toothbrush? Where's my toothbrush? Sorry, I was doing a bunch of repairs today. Oh, there we go. I found it. Yeah, today was an interesting day for repairs. I had a PS4 come in for a cleaning job and an HDMI replacement, and we did the cleaning on it, and I did the HDMI replacement, and then when I went to go put it back together to test, down properly, that whole didn't shut down properly screen, so that part was fine. And back on, it was just a static screen like the old TVs used to do. So I messed around with it, and I got the resolution. I had to put the resolution down to 720, and then it displayed just fine. So I don't know if it's the HDMI chip or whatever the case is on it. So I had the customer come and pick it up, and then he texted me a few minutes later saying, "Hey, it's not displaying at all." I'd already told him about the 720, and he said that's fine. As long as it works, it is what it is. So I gave it to him with the 720 setting, and he got it home and he said, "Hey, it's not displaying at all now." And I know for a fact that when I left my shop, it was showing on my screen. We went through a bunch of diagnostics that he could do at home, and nothing seemed to work. So shut up, multimeter. He's going to end up bringing it back to my shop tomorrow, and we're going to put it on my test bench together, because I know when that PS4 left my shop, it was 100% working. And even he's like, "Hey, I trust your word. I don't know what happened. Maybe something is wrong with my TV or something like that." But yeah, it's always frustrating when you want to take care of a customer like that, and it just doesn't end up working. So yeah, it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and that's not how I like to do business. I like people leaving happily and leaving glowing reviews and recommending their friends. Hey, much obliged, Jim. Thanks, man. All right, so Southbridge area is now clean. Let's lift the board and see if we can find any. Shut up, multimeter. All right, let's lift this up, and let's see if we can see any joined solder balls. Let's see here. Stand this up as straight as I can. I don't see anything joined. Looks pretty okay. Let's get this in focus. Kind of gold thing sticking out of there. I don't know what the hell that is, though. Is it part of the solder wick? I mean, the chip's clean when I put it on, and so is the area. None of those look joined. Alright, well, let's give it a shot. Here we go. Grab the chassis that has sat untouched for Lord knows how long now. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can fish that gold piece out. It's bugging me. Sorry. Yeah, that little thing right there is gonna annoy the hell out of me, and I'm worried about it. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it came off easy. So, there we go. Alright. Grab this chassis. Chassis needs a good blowout. out real quick. Chassis got some dust. Oh lord. Chassis got dust in the liquid metal. I'm gonna have to take that and reset it, but that's fine. We're just testing for right now. Alright, loud noises. Sorry guys. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, let's hope we at least get a beep. If we get a beep, we're in better shape than we were. If not, then I'm going to try and float. Alright, there we go. Oh shit, where the hell did I even put the APU clamp for this damn thing? Oh, it's been so long since I've touched it, I don't know where anything is. I don't know where it is. Alright, let's switch you guys over here so we're not just looking at empty space. Alright, there we go. Well, let's at least get the wires hooked up and then I can find an APU clamp. I know I have extras. I don't know where they are, but I know I have them. Boop. There we go. And boop. And fucking boop. Alright. APU clamp. If I were a loose APU clamp for an EDM 020 board, where the hell would I have put myself? This is the problem. I cleaned up my desk and I don't know where anything is. Alright, looks like I got one here. How the hell do I open my own shit? There we go. Yeah, I got a few of them in here. Alright, that's a 030 clamp. I believe that's part of the 030 clamp. Pretty sure this is what I need. Spare parts for days. Okay. I believe this is correct. Looks correct. APU screws. All right. There we go. One. And I've only got one. You know what? I see two other ones here. Hopefully they're the right ones. Got all kinds of screws lying around except APU screws apparently. Alright, well, hopefully these will at least do the job. Yeah, looks like they should. Alright. So I got some APU screws. It's so long since I've even touched a board that's under the EDM 030s. Literally all the repairs that are coming in have all been EDM 030 or 031s or 033s. I haven't touched the low board and since this one. That's been my most recent one. Alright, everything's plugged in as it should be. Alright, let's just get power in first and foremost. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh, I touched stuff. Ooh, let's not look at my crotch the whole night, huh? There are very few of you want to see that. Alright, let's just see if we can even get a beep. A beep would be a huge improvement. Alright, there's a crackle from the power supply, which means that there's power going into it. Before I even do that, grab my multimeter here. And I'm going to test to make sure voltage is going to the board. So we put it in DC voltage mode. Black probe on ground. Cords everywhere. Black probe on ground. Red probe on here. 12 volts going into the board. Alright, so we got 12 volts going in. Do we get a beep? We get a beep. Alright, that's positive. That's more than we got last time, which means the Southbridge is now installed properly. Alright. Keep doing this for a minute. Okay. Alright. We have our beep back, which means the Southbridge is now back. This is good. All good things. Alright. I'm interested to see what starts to get warm on this board when I try to start it. Where the hell is my thermal camera? So I'm pretty sure this is a RAM issue, and I'll tell you why in just a second. First, let's turn on the thermal camera. Eventually, I will get this hooked up to the computer where you guys can see it better. I'm again, still working a lot on the streaming stuff, so appreciate everybody being so patient. Alright, so if I try to turn this on, and of course it calibrates right then. Alright, so let's go over to the SSD area. Normally that'll get warm when it tries to turn on. Nope, nothing there. Alright, so good. And so at least right now nothing is getting warm. Yeah, I don't see any hot spots outside of reflections. Okay. Just wanted to see if there was anything getting super warm. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have our beep back, which means the Southbridge is now functional again. All good. So, why I believe it's the RAM is because let me disconnect this real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'm going to leave it in the chassis for right now. I'm going to take it out. You know what, let me just take it out. I'm going to have to take it out anyway when I start removing the RAM. Let's go ahead and undo all the cables. But tonight's already a win, even if I don't get it fixed, because I got the Southbridge back on without destroying it. So I'm taking that victory all day. Alright, so here we go. Alright. Let's move this chest back. Okay, so why I believe that is the RAM. Let's move this up. I'll try and zoom you guys in a little bit. Bear with me. That's as close as I feel comfortable with, so you guys can actually see it without making it too blurry. Okay, so on this board, around the RAM area, there's these little test points right here. When I put my meter in resistance mode, I'm going to try and do this on camera. I might actually be able to do this. Alright, so when I put this into resistance mode and I test the resistance coming through these points, it says it right about 39 ohms. And I had my good buddy Demi pull a board that he was working on from the same thing, EDM 020, and the reading that he got was in the 200 ohms. So that tells me that one of these chips is probably bad. Now, I know on the EDM 010s, the resistance is supposed to be in like the 50s, something like that. But on the test board that I had to work with, this is coming up as 39 ohms, which is already low. It shouldn't be that low. And then I had Emmy test a board, and he came up with 200 and some odd ohms. I realize that's not an exact number. Oh well, deal with it. But that tells me that more than likely one of these RAM chips is faulty. And unfortunately, I can't find a short to test which one it is. So what I'm going to have to do is pull one RAM chip at a time and test after every pull until I get the proper resistance reading, and then I know I have pulled the correct one, at which point I'll have to reball and reinstall all the RAM chips. So we're just going to get into it. We're going to dive right into this because it's going to take me a bit to do all of these RAM chips. So we're going to start with the... let's see, which one should we start with? I think I'm going to start with this one here. I've seen some faults with this particular RAM chip. This one right here, or these two. So, I'm going to start with those. I haven't seen it on this board specifically, just when I was doing research into this problem, I found that a lot of people ran into problems with these specific chips. So, that's where we're going to start. That's a good point. Yeah, see, I know which ones run all through the APU and such, but I don't know what voltage rails actually go to the RAM. Like, I'm looking through the traces here, and I see a lot of them coming from the APU to the RAM, but I don't see any of them going from any particular trace into the RAM. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna play hunt the 1.2.5. Yeah, I wouldn't put anything more than probably 1.5 just because it's so close to the APU. But yeah, I don't know what voltage rails are running directly to the RAM. I believe the RAM actually runs on 3.3. It could even be the 5. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm not gonna hunt down voltage rails right now. Eventually, I will have to do that because it's going to be important for me to know. But I think I'm just going to start pulling, and I'm going to have as much fun as I possibly can. My first stream back. Damn it, I wonder what the... Now you got me curious, though. What voltage runs to the RAM? I know there's a RAM controller IC somewhere, or a... It's got to be close to the RAM, I would assume. Ah, hell with it. Let's start pulling RAM. Inductor regulator. Nothing like super nearby. So, like, alright, so you got the RAM right here, and I've got pretty sure that's a regulator. Where's my tweezers? So I'm pretty sure this regulator right here. And then, so you got, and then you move over to here, and you've got this whole area right here. But this is also right near the start button as well. Let's flip the board real quick. I've got flux on there, so I have to be somewhat careful. Alright, so that's the RAM area. You know, I just watched a video on somebody diagnosing RAM, and I know they found a short somewhere on the board, and I don't remember where the hell it was. But either way, I know I'm not getting the right reading from the RAM. So I think I'm probably just going to start pulling RAM and test after each one. We'll do it like we did the old Xbox MOSFETs. Just pull one until the short's gone. Alright, here we go. Let's have some fun, huh? Largest test point that I measure. What voltage circuits power? Which test point are you talking about? The one where I pulled the resistance reading from? I'd have to put it back in the chassis and hook up to power. I have an extra power supply just out right now. I'm almost positive the 5 rail. You got me curious, Demi. Let's find out. Let's put it back in the chassis and let's get a voltage reading next to. So I see some test points right here and right around here, and I know this resistance goes to the RAM, so I know these test points should be RAM voltage. Yeah, let's put it back in the chassis. Why make me learn stuff? I mean, I'm just trying to have fun. Alright, let's find out. Alright, I don't need the APU clamp in to get voltages. Alright. Alright, let's bring you guys over here. And not that. Alright. So let's move the multimeter into a visible position. Alright, so we've got it in voltage. Let's just make sure I'm not losing my mind that we still have 12 volts. We do. We have 12 volts. Alright. Move this over so you guys can actually see. Alright, so 12 volts going in. And test this test point here by the RAM. Alright, there we go. So I've got 12 volts there. Oh, power button. Duh. I'm like, oh no, we're back to square fucking one. Nope, just plug the fucking power button in. Okay, so. Alright, I'm just trying to see if I have any voltages coming through these test points. Nothing coming through these. I mean, let's make sure we still have all of our voltage rails. So I got 12 volts. Got 12. I got 5 coming into the HDMI area. So I have trying to check for my 3.3. It's 5. Nope, that's 3.3. Five. Yeah, I gotta find the test point for the 1.8. I always forget where that is. And the 1.2 is standby, if I remember right. I have to try and turn it on to get the 1.2. Yeah, I'm almost positive the 1.2 is one of those. Alright, so I got 12 volts coming through this area. 12 volts coming through that area. Alright, so the closest I've gotten to the RAM as far as test points go for voltages is the 5 volt rail. See, that boosts to 160 millivolts and then dies. And that's right around the same area where we had the problem previously. I wonder if this is the RAM controller. It's kind of far from the RAM. I don't know what's on the other side, but the one that I was having trouble? Yeah, this is the one that I think started at 5, and then when I turned it on, drops. Yeah, that one drops voltage. So it's on this chip over by the SSDs, but it's not part of the SSD rail, not that I can see. So you'll see it's at almost 5 volts. I have it on a pin on a just an IC, and then when I push the button, it drops to 3.6, and after a minute, it goes right back up. And in that same area, I've got a test point. Gotta find it again. Where it's at 0, it jumps to 160 millivolts, and then drops again. And that, I know it's hard to see, but it's in this area right here. I'll try and get the camera over so you can see it a little bit. Let's see if we can get some light over here as well. Okay, so this area right here is where I'm having the strange readings from. And they are strange, but I've tested all the caps around here. I've tested all the resistors, the fuses. Nothing's out of whack. And I can't tell what chip that is. I suppose I could just remove that chip before doing the RAM, because that area is where I'm having the problem. Oh, that's a dialogue. I see. All right, so that shouldn't be causing it not to turn on. But that's the only area that I'm getting any weird readings. I also can't find the 1.8 test board, the 1.8 test file. I really need to look that up. Hang on, I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, so I've got another PlayStation 4. No, not 4, I need 5. Oh yeah, suppose I should plug in the LED, huh? I'll fix you in a second, multimedia. Just relax. Okay, that's back in. First inductor to the right of the dialogue chip. Alright. First inductor. You're talking about in voltage or diode? Try and get over here a little easier, or a little better for you. Voltage test. Okay. Well, let's try and boost this in a little bit. Can't do much more than that. It's already fuzzy as it is. Alright. Okay. And you're talking about, just to make sure, this inductor, correct? Where this probe is? Or are you talking about this one right here? So, up or down? Just say up or down. I'm not great with recognizing inductors versus caps versus resistors yet. I'm still learning that stuff. Oh, that's right. I forgot you have a delay. Okay. So, this is not ground. Output side. So, up. Okay, got it. Alright. So, I'm going to disconnect power. Drain for a second. Oh, this is extraordinarily difficult when trying to plug this damn thing back in. I'm coming up empty, man. I have no voltage. So, I mean, just to show you what's on the meter. And it's a little shaky, but yeah, I mean, it's on there. I'm kind of moving it around a little bit on that inductor, but there, now it's connected on the other side. Yeah, like when I try to turn it on, I get a little bit of something, but yeah, like it jumps a little bit when I try to turn it on, but yeah, I have nothing on that inductor. That's me taking the probe off. Here, pay no mind. There, no more probe. Check on the input side left. Yeah, no, that was both of them. So I'll show you again. This is outside. And hang on, let me try and get this in the shot. There we go. Okay, so can I do it? I'm gonna have to Anyway, here, take my word for it. So, alright, so on output side of the inductor, I have 0. There's nothing reading. I turn it on. I get to about 0.2 millivolts. Extreme left of the chip. You're talking about this. So I have 2 again. Tell me which one, up or down. I have down and I have up. Okay. Alright, so let's see. I believe this is input side. Alright, so I've got 0 here. Try to turn it on. I've still got 0. And I'll do it on the other side. I've still got 0. Try to turn it on. There's a weird reading. Hang on, let me go back down to 0. So I get it to 0. Well, now it's at 0.3, 0.4, 0.3. It just kind of fluctuates. But when I try to turn it on, it jumps to about 33 millivolts for like a tenth of a second and then goes right back to 0. Let's see, this one, I've still got 0. Trying to turn it on, still it goes to 0.2, nothing higher than that. Other side, I've got 0. And same thing, I've got 0. Yeah. I got zeros all over, man. Are we talking... This is DC voltage, not AC voltage, right? Because I got zeros all over. I mean, I'll swap to AC voltage just for the hell of it, but I don't think that's the right thing here. Are you getting 2.7 volts? All DC. Okay, yeah, I had it on... Okay, here we are. DC. Yeah, I have 0. I've got 0 across the board, but I have it... Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out where, though, is the thing, because I've got 12 volts, I've got 5 volts, I've got 3.3. I can't find my 1.8 rail, so I could very well be missing that rail. I know it. I'm almost positive it's supposed to be in this area. Yeah, so that test point I'm on right now in this area right here, I've got 3.3. Yeah, I checked all the caps in that area. I'll double check just to be 100% sure. see, I've got 3.3 going into this whole test area right here. There's a 5 volt there. Alright, let me go into diode mode. I'll start in continuity. I'll double check the caps to be 100% sure. Alright, so that's ground. Oh. Shit. Okay. I know I checked those caps before. Unless these are low resistance, they could be low impedance. No, they're all shorted. This whole area is shorted. What the hell? I checked this area. I know I checked this area. All those caps are coming up short. No, it's plugged. Oh, it's plugged in. That's right. It's plugged in. I have to test it while it's unplugged, don't I? Well, that wouldn't make much. Again, you're way more knowledgeable about this than I am, so I'm going to defer to you on this. But even if it's plugged in and has voltage coming through, I shouldn't have continuity to ground on both sides of the yeah, I have a bench power supply. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, should I unplug it and retest those caps? Give it like 10 seconds to drain the voltage out, and then test the caps again? Oh, you're saying discharge. So discharge the cap while it's still plugged in. I can do that. Well, yeah, no, definitely don't want to do that. Oh, you're saying after it's plugged in. Okay. Or after it's unplugged. Look, I know nothing about electrical engineering. I'm going to be 100% honest, okay? I know how to solder. I know how to fault find, for the most part, anyway. And I know general patterns of things to look for and, you know, how to address them. But I know nothing of actual electrical engineering, to be 100% clear. Ah, got it. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and unplug it. Alright, so it is now unplugged. Let's go ahead and drain off the caps. Okay. Let's see if we're still short. Nope. Not shorted. Yeah, when it's unplugged, it's not shorted. Oh, hang on. These two are. Yep. I got two shorted ones in the back over here. Yeah, that's 6 ohms. I got a 6 ohm short. Yeah, I've got two shorted caps in the back right here. So these two. If it's parallel with the inductor, it is parallel with this inductor right here. That inductor is also short to ground. Inductors shouldn't short to ground, right? There's no reason an inductor should be short to ground. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, I know that's not always 100% true, because I know on the EDM 010s they have that row of 4 caps, and only one of them will short out from time to time. All right. So yeah, but the inductor shouldn't short regardless, though, right? There's no reason for an inductor to short to ground. It should never be shorted to ground. I know I checked those caps before. I don't know what the hell changed. Let me check the rest of them real quick, but I think it's just that rail. Alright, so I've got 2 shorted caps and a shorted inductor. Does the inductor go first? Unless it's coming through a MOSFET. No, I don't think so. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, the 12-volt line does have a MOSFET. Oh, you're saying the inductor. Yeah, no, there's no reason that inductor should be shorted to ground, and there is no MOSFET there. Let me check on the other side of the board real quick. Hang on. Alright, so we pop to the other side of the board. And that same area just has a few caps. And a fuse. Okay. Well, let me check the other side of the. Let me just test the caps on the other side of the board real quick, and then, I mean, if I don't find anything there, we know that the inductor has to come off, and we can kind of work our way forward. So let's take a look. Oh, I might have a blown fuse as well. Yeah, I've got a blown fuse too. Here, let me, sorry. I'm gonna move you back over. I'm gonna get it under the microscope so it's a little easier. But I'm not looking for voltages. Alright, so this is the other side of the board. Right here, this F7502. And so I went through and I was checking the caps. So this is input, nothing, ground, input, 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 nothing, no shorts. Come over to this fuse right here. And it should be continuity through a fuse, if I remember correctly. I've got nothing. This fuse is blown. And that fuse goes in this area right here. You can't really see. It goes right in this area here. But to clarify, just so it's easier to see now, yeah, these two caps are shorted, and this inductor is shorted. So what do you think, fuse first or inductor first? Resistor is good. All right, inductor it is. Let's pop a funnel on my hot air gun. Okay. Alright. Let's drop a bit of flux. Where did I put my flux? There we go. My hot air gun feels like it's on its last legs. I'll have to get a new one soon. I'll upgrade to the Atom. Alright, inductor is off. I mean, it's there. Like, it's still doing the job. But I can feel the fan, like, wanting to go out on it. That thing, I mean, look, I bought this thing for, like, I don't know, like $40 on Amazon. Like, this is a very cheap piece of machinery right here. But yes, I also have abused the hell out of it. So now that I've got the inductor off, am I still staying in continuity mode, or am I moving over to diode? I'll wait for the delay to come. Bolt is good, okay. Well, we'll test it in continuity first. So, got the probe on ground. Alright, so that side I got 1.4, 1.5. Let me let it cool down a little bit. I'm not going to get an accurate reading until it's cool. It was not shorted. So my tester beeped on both sides last time. With it had a 6 ohm short to ground, or a 0.6. I don't remember. Then I gotta check. Let me check this cap. Am I in resistance mode? God damn it! I'm in resistance mode. Yeah. Now I've got OL here. And that one's got a 7 ohm short. So this one's OL, and this is a 7 ohm short. Same thing here, 7 ohm short. Hello, my sweet. My cat's coming to say hello. All right, bottom cap is next. All right, I'm all for short hunting. I'll hunt shorts all goddamn day. Because I did not have these shorts before. I at least maybe I didn't test everything the way I should have. I don't know. I'm gonna blame myself. All right, so bottom cap is coming off. I did check the resistor. The resistor is good. I've got 2 points. Well, now that the inductor is off, let me check it again just to be sure. But I did check it, and it was a little. I think it was like 2.5, but nothing outside of normal range. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I got 2.5 ohms on there. Like that. Not too shabby. Alright. Well, now it's out of the way, let's cool it down. And I'm still in resistance mode. Let's get out of resistance mode. Alright. Are we still shorted? We are still short. So, next cap up. Alright, next cap up it is. Hoorah! Fine. I don't know what that was. That was a screw. Okay. Okay, yeah, I see the VA you're talking about there. Okay. Alright, let that cool down a moment. And still short. But this inductor is no longer short. But these two are still very short. Yeah. Still short. Alright. So those vias. Well, I have a donor board, but I end up losing those caps, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. I prefer not to if they're the caps, but. There we go. Let's move that inductor off to the side. Alright, so you're looking at these four right here. Just make sure these don't want to fly off. Nah, those don't want to go. Okay. Alright, so if I'm following these 4 vias right here, let's flip the board. Alright, so those 4 vias. Yeah, that's a good point. So those 4 vias, I believe, are right here. Either that or right here. Let me see if I can find it again. So using the time-tested tweezer method, it is these 4 vias right here. Now, that is close to where this blown fuse is right here. None of these caps are bad. I tested all those caps. Just make sure I'm not missing something on this fuse. Yeah, that fuse is for sure blown. There should be continuity through that fuse. If it goes to that, then it goes to inner circuit layer. Not sure what you mean by that, friend. You said anchor your, well, I don't have the board in the chassis right now, but I can anchor the board to a ground point. But are you saying diode mode to find voltage drops, or what are you talking about? Excuse me. Oh, okay, yeah. So just keep it in diode mode. Okay, so diode mode. Red is anchored to ground. I don't think so, no. Maybe now it will. Hang on. Nope, still won't. Hang on. Okay, yeah, continuity is better. Alright, continuity it is. Alright, so we'll start to the left of the fuse, because there's not a whole lot here. I mean, that's really the whole, that's a lot of it right there. So, continuity. Yeah, I don't think it beeps in diode mode, but I've got beeps on ground here, so it's in continuity. Nope. Yeah, so everything left of the fuse is fine. That's all ground. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, everything on that side seems to be okay. Alright. Well, let's swap back over using the tried and true tweezer method. Alright, so other side of the board. That is the via, the 8-peg via right here. And it leads us back to this area where we know the short is. So this is the 8 pegs right here. And then, I mean, I've got this small area right here is kind of close, but it looks like it's on a different rail, but it could be connected. So I'll check this. And then I've got all this stuff down here that leads right into the SSD controller. So let's check this first since it's little. There. Oh, sorry, you're not able to see. Alright, so checking these things around here. I think those might be resistors. You mean just drag like along the traces themselves? I'm not understanding what brings voltage to the fuse. Okay. Do I need to expose the via for that, or do I just need this test point right here, and I can kind of go from there? No, because that test point's just grounded in it, yeah. Let's find out. One side of the fuse. Let's take a look at the fuse. Oh, okay. Alright, we can do that. Let's take a look. I really wish this power cord would reach over a little more. That's why I can keep it under the microscope. Do I have another power cord free? I bet I do. I surely do. Alright, hold on a minute. Okay, I can let this ride for a second. I'm going to try and keep this under the microscope. Alright, so that's what we're working with. Alright, so that is 8-point via. Okay. Alright, so let's see what voltage I'm getting here. Alright, so that is the 5-volt line. I'm getting 5 volts coming through that area. Alright. Read the... Got it. Alright. Alright, yep, that is my 5 volt. So you're saying that's what's missing on the other side of the board? Alright, so I mean, let's take a look over here then. We got some test points for what appear to be going into this dialog I see, right? Alright, well, I've got 0 volts there. Yep, I got 0 volts here as well. I got my 3.3 here. I mean, I'm not worried about removing the dialog I see, that's fine. Yeah, I've got no voltage on any of these test points. I'm assuming they're voltage test points anyway. Okay. Alright, so what are you saying? Remove the dialog I see and then put it back in the chassis, and because I want to take it out while it's plugged in, obviously. Alright, well, let's unplug this sumbitch. Alright, so dialog I see coming out. I don't want to move this too terribly far. Where are you going? Ugh. Alright, so dialog I see. Boom. make a... Alright. Let's get the board flat as possible. Alright. Cat's trying to run away. There we go. Alright. Dialog IC is removed. Let's let that cool down a little bit and give it some air. Alright. And I'm going to check for the short since the IC is off. Yep. Check for boards before testing. Okay. Well, should have checked that before. Let's take a look. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't see any bridges. Let me clean up a little bit just to be 100% sure. Yeah, I don't see any bridges. Alright. I have a feeling I have to plug that thing in. I haven't used it in a while. So, alright, you're gonna have to help me walk through this a little bit. Hey, what? I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. If you could start the instruction process, I would appreciate it. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Bench power supply is plugged in. Hello, my sweet. Okay. I have a thermal camera. Would the thermal camera be easier? Cool. We'll get the thermal camera done. Alright, so... And you said to the bad side of the fuse, so I'm going to flip the board and inject voltage onto the 5-volt side of the fuse. So, just make it easier on myself here. So, right here. So, I'm assuming that we're going to be putting it here. We're going to inject voltage here. West side of the fuse vias. Okay? So, west meaning... For me, this is west, yes? Oh, yes. Right, yes. Because the 5 volt comes in through these 8 vias right here. Yes, you're 100% right. So, yeah, bad side of the fuse is this side of the fuse. Okay. Understood. Gotcha. Okay, so using the tweezer method. Okay. So, underside of the board. Okay. So, on the other side of the board, the fuse vias go here on this rail of caps. Well, I mean, use the tester. Okay. So, how do you want me to test it? Again, you're really helping me through this, man. I'm starting to slowly learn this as we go. Double check the bad side from under the bottom again. Okay. Alright, so easiest way for me to do this is alright, so I'm gonna use my tweezers. So here we have, that's the bad side of the fuse. So I'm I'm gonna keep my tweezers locked in place where that is. And it's right over those caps. Okay, so I have to find a via that connects on the trace that comes up. Okay. Off the fuse. Okay, well, let's... Okay, so... So here we are, back at the fuse. Find a via that come up from off of the fuse. Well, I mean, I can see... Okay, I mean... Alright, well, we know where the A pin is, so we can follow from there. On the bad side. Okay. Okay. I apologize. I'm not trying to frustrate you or anything like that. I'm just not 100% sure I'm understanding what you're looking for. So I'm going to leave the board as is. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the board as is here. This is the bad side. Matter of fact, let me clean up some of this flux so I have a clean board to look at. Turn it over. Okay, I'm turning it over. Alright. So, turning it over. And let's get back. Alright. No, I appreciate it. Trust me, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your help with this. Like, this is... I would love to get this thing working again. Okay, so we're at the fuse. pegs from the fuse. Yes. Got the 4 vias right here. Where am I at? Okay. Yeah, 4 vias right here. Got it. Okay. East of the fuse outward. All right. Nope. Okay. All right. Going back. Going back. East of the fuse down. Okay. All right. I'm stopping here. Square legs. Okay. These here. Corner of the screen. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Where am I at? Where's my fuse? These right here. Okay, got it. All right. Where am I going from those vias? Am I turning the board over to see what those attach to? Okay, got it. Okay, now when you're saying follow those to the top of the board, are you saying to basically know where these vias are and flip the board over? Like see what those vias connect to on the back of the board? Or on the other side of the board, I should say? Other side, okay. Alright. Getting somewhere. Alright, so those. Follow it around. Those go right here. Right where the short is. Right here. Alright, I've got it. Okay. In continuity mode? Okay. Sorry, refilling the vape real quick. Yeah, man, this is genuinely so exciting for me. Like, learning how to do all of this shit, and I really appreciate you taking the time to walk me through it. I'll be stoked if we get this fucking thing working. Alright, continuity mode. Here we go. Continuity mode. Red probe on ground. Alright. Ground. Alright. No, continuity. Alright. So, with red probe on ground, we got OL on this side. And same thing, I've got OL on both. Yep. No beep, no nothing. Okay. So those 4 pegs right there. Just pull back a bit, make sure we're talking about the same one. Alright, so those 4 pegs right here. I mean, I think so. Let's check just to be sure. So here, just let me back it up just a bit more, so you can kind of get a full view of what I'm doing. All right, so got red probe on this ground plane here, and then black probe going to one side of the fuse. Other side of the fuse. Yeah, I mean, I'm digging into that fuse. I got OL on both sides. Alright. So I'll do the same thing I did last time. Alright, so oh, you're so right. Yep, you're 100% right. I had it the wrong one. You're right. Okay, so yeah, yep, that one right there. Yep, that guy. Oh boy. See, I should have used the tweezer method. Tweezer method is always right. All right. So what am I doing from here? Matter of fact, let me. Sorry, my board's not sitting flat and it's bugging me. Get the board flat. There we go. We're back. Yeah, I don't. You're talking about. I would assume you mean the cap is on that same line, right? Like if I'm not shorted here. Because I mean that resistor is good. Unless you mean I can check the short on the V itself, like expose it. Yep. Yeah. No short there. Alright, we're going to put the voltage on the shorted line. So, like connected directly to the short. Like right here. Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Alright. So, what are you thinking? Like start with like 1.5 volts? .8 volts, half an amp. Alright. Okay. Drag my power supply over as much as I can. Alright, so I'm gonna clamp to ground. I don't have a wire that I can solder onto that point right now. I have one in the car, but I'd have to cut it and go through all that process, and I'm not going to do that right now. That's just going to be horrible for all of us. So I'll just inject it directly at that cap point there with my needle. That point connected. Alright, so I've got ground clamped right over here. Yeah, that's what I got going on right now, so I think anyway. Alright, let's go back to shorted. There we go. Shorted area. Alright, and power on. Alright, so 1.8 volts. Okay. And half an amp. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to the big screen so you can see what my setup looks like. Make sure I've got everything on the up here. Just a second. Alright, so this is my little bench power supply, so I've got it set to 1.8 volts. And the amperage is at 0 right now, but if I go to set it, it's got it set for 0.5 amps. I'm waiting on your response before I do anything, because I know that this could probably, mess something up, so. Oh, sorry. So I just want to make sure I have it set up correctly. So it's set to 1.8 volts. It's showing 0 amps right now. but when I go to set it, if I wanted to set it correctly, I just have to push this button and it's set to 5.5 amps, so half an amp. Is that the correct setup? Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Same spot that's shorting. Yep. All right. Swap back over to microscope cam just to make sure that I'm setting it on the correct spot. All right. So I'm going to. All right. So I've got 0.29 amps of draw. 0.3 amps. All right, I've got a hotspot, but I can't take my. So it looks like my hotspot is coming from this area over here. Yeah, like right here. So where the hell is my alcohol? I'm gonna stop injecting voltage for a second. I'm gonna get alcohol on a cotton swab and see if we can find what's causing the heat. Because the thermal camera I have is not great. It just gives me a general idea, but that definitely could have a hot spot in that area. Alright, so let me apply. Actually, stupid. Okay. So let me soak up some alcohol on a Q-tip here. Alright, I'm going to inject voltage. Got the area flooded some. Let me dim the light a little bit as well. Maybe that'll help. Wait, am I wrong? God damn it, I might be wrong. Hang on. See, this is why I need a wire. It could be something on the other side of the board as well, but I mean, there's for sure. I mean, there's one area that was getting warmer than the rest. Increased voltage, yeah, okay. Alright, voltage up to 2. Let's kick the light back on a little bit. Yeah, now I've got 0.42 amp draw. Yeah, see, there's definitely something getting warm. I just can't tell where the hell it is. Like, I've got a very small hotspot, and I can't tell where the hell it is. It might even be on the other side of the board, which would suck. Sorry, hang on. Disappear. Yeah, and it disappears when I take the... So there's for sure a hotspot. It's just because I'm holding the probe on there. I wish there was a way for me to not have to hold the probe and be able to find this damn hotspot. I'm putting it back on. That's fine. That's your face. Now I've got a much warmer spot. That might be my thumb. Just kidding. Yeah. Just double checking. Absolutely. Okay, it's alright. I've got it. I was able to isolate it somewhat. It's right here in this area, so it's probably going to be on the other side of the board. I was able to isolate it to this area, so I mean, just verify again. You know what? Maybe that's just reflection. That could be just reflection. Oh, hello. Never mind. Giant hotspot. Just found it. And of course. I must have missed it before, but hello, giant hotspot right underneath the SSD controller. Hello, giant hotspot. Yeah. Take it off. Yeah, as soon as I take the voltage off, that SSD controller dies down. Yep. It is the SSD controller. Oh, that sucks. Bruh. Excuse me. Yep. Hotspot is right there. Well, good thing I didn't go turn off any RAM. Would have been fucking useless. What do you think? Take the SSD controller off and see if see if it goes away. Check for shorts under the SSD controller. Oh, that's so many caps. Alright, let's see what we got. Yep, shorty cap there. Yep. Yep. Shorts all under the SSD controller. Yeah. That's not shorted. This line is not shorted. That one is. That. So this line is good. Yeah, no short here. Yeah, I got shorts all over the place. Including right here. Yeah. It's all coming from the SSD controller. It's all coming from underneath the SSD controller. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't think I have a stencil for an SSD controller. I mean, I got plenty of stencils. I just don't know if I have one that'll work. I believe the SSD controller is replaceable. I'm almost positive it is. I think the code did it. I'm like 80% sure. I think he had to use a full BGA rework machine to do it. I'm not 100% sure that's required, but I'm almost positive you can replace it. Yeah, I can't check on my computer without blowing your guys' eardrums out. I'm almost positive. Hang on, let me. Sorry, I'm trying to mute this if I can.
Another PS5 now, Pepper.
There we go. Yeah, you can replace it. I was just found the same thing. Yeah, let's take. I mean, that's where the short's coming from, 100%. So I mean, yeah, screw it. Let's take it off. And now, again, the coder did this with a BJ rework machine, but he replaced it with standard hot air. So I'm assuming you can probably take it off with hot air. It's just a pain in the ass. Well, either way, we got down to cause, which is a blessing in and of itself. So I'm gonna flood this thing with flux. I need a good set of tweezers. area up until all those solder balls melt off. Alright, well, you can do it with a hot air gun. And it doesn't look like I lost any components, which is awesome. I have a solder ball that's kind of stuck over here. For you not be stuck over there. Alright. We're going to let that cool down a significant amount. And I will go ahead and wick up the solder. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was just thinking that actually. Let's go ahead and grab some wick. Where's the wick? There's the wick. Alright, more flux. And fresh wick. I honestly didn't think it was going to come off. Trying to be super gentle with these pads. Actually, you know what I should do? I should have done this from the get-go, is mix it with leaded solder. That would make my job a whole hell of a lot easier. Remove yourself. Alright, well, it ain't super clean right now, but there's no bridges or anything like that. I can always go back and... Hang on, there's a little bit more here. Alright, it is what it is for right now. Alright, let's just give it a quick scrubby scrub. I mean, there's still some solder on there, but nothing appears to be bridged or anything like that. Right. Sorry. Part that's bugging the shit out of me. Alright. Okay, so let's flip the board and see if we still have our short, shall we? So, we're over here. And that's where the short was. continuity mode, and moment of truth. Is the short gone? Short gone. No more short. Yep. SSD controller's faulty. Alright. Well, we got it. Know what's wrong with it. Let me see if I'm not doing this tonight, to be 100% clear. I'm not replacing the SSD controller tonight. I will do that next weekend. But I want to see if I even have a stencil for it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even have a stencil for it. No, I mean, not a big deal. I can order one. Oh, that's a good idea. Thing. Yeah. Yep. It's gone. Yeah. Those are the two main lines that were shorted over there, and it's gone. That SSD controller. Well, we know that they're replaceable, number one. I'm telling you right now, I'm fixing this damn board. I got some oxidized pads over there too. I'm gonna have to tidy up at some point, although that could still be solder on there. Kind of looks like oxidation though. Yeah. A little bit of oxidation. That's alright. Okay. Well, we got to the bottom of it, guys. Demi, thank you so much, dude. Like, I pulled off every bit of RAM off that board and been very frustrated. It still doesn't explain why the resistance readings that we got are so different between our two boards. When I had you do that reading and you got the 220 and I'm at like 39 something. But different problem for a different time. Neither here nor there. SSD controller is bad. So I'm going to order an SSD controller stencil. And obviously a kit, everything like that. I do have donor boards that I can pull an SSD controller off of, so it's fine. But I'm not with tonight. I'm not manually reballing it, and it won't fit in my caddy that I have, so I will be ordering it. This was fun. It's so good to be back. I love doing these live stream repairs, man. It's so much fun. Alright. Well, other than that, it is 1. It's about 1:30 in the morning where I am, so I'm going to go to bed. Again, thank you all for coming out and hanging out. Be sure to drop a comment, a like, subscribe to the channel. It's fun. It's fun for me. It's a good time. I will see y'all next weekend, next Saturday. Go Dolphins, baby. Let's go. We win in the 2C. It's happening. And, oh, check. Oh, hang on. Wait, which test point? What are you talking about? Oh, around where the shorted area was to see if there's voltage coming in now? Oh, yeah, that's a good fucking point, huh? Now that we've identified the issue, maybe it's actually reading properly. No, it's actually reading lower now. The RAM still could be a problem. Yeah, now I'm only getting 34. I was getting 37 before. Now I'm only getting 34. 34.7. I mean, the RAM still could be an issue. I swear, if I go through all this and the RAM still... You know what? It had to be done anyway. I'm not going to fret about it. The RAM needed to be done. Or, the SSD controller needed to be done. So, I'm not hating on it. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get the SSD controller fixed first. And we'll move on from there. Alright. I'm going to bed. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Genuinely means the world to me. We'll keep doing these. I still got an Xbox One X that I can't get fixed, so we'll keep doing those. Maybe we'll do that next week while I'm waiting on the stencil to come in for the SSD controller. And, we're gonna fix this PS5. I'm bound and determined to fix this thing. It's EDM 020. Yeah, EDM 020. Alright. That's it. I'm going to bed. Love you guys very much. Happy Saturday to you. Happy New Year to you. I hope everything goes exactly how you want it this New Year's. I hope everything good happens to you. Every one of you deserve it. You're wonderful humans. Just because you're hanging out. I appreciate it. So, good night.